Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Greymane Gaming. Thank you for joining me once again on our Wednesday version of Dreamlight Valley. Yes, we do it on Wednesday, and we do it on Monday mornings. It's our little talk show type, uh, just hang out, chill, talk about things that are going on in Dreamlight Valley, in the world, in entertainment. Just whatever we want to talk about. It's nothing to do so much with Dreamlight Valley, even though we do have some parts of it that are about Dreamlight Valley. We will have, of course, information that relates to Dreamlight Valley, but it's just not specifically all about Dreamlight Valley. So don't get your undies in a knot if we talk about something else, because I'm telling you ahead of time we're probably gonna do so. So that is today's the Wednesday show, which means we are going to go and check out Scrooge's store. We're going to check out the premium shop and see what is new for this week. I'm trying to get through with my still recovering voice after having the flu. I guess the flu. The only part that's left is the voice. Yeah, I don't mind so much having the deeper voice, but it's just the cough that I want to get rid of, and that's still kind of lingering. It's been about 2 weeks now, but I feel pretty good. Hope you all are doing well today. Last night we watched Alien Earth. I don't know if you've been following that show. It seems like every episode gets creepier and creepier, and I think, it just escalates the creepiness each week. And so Allie and I watched last night. I think that was episode 5, and it was just supremely creepy. Supremely creepy. So if you haven't seen Alien Earth, if you like Alien, I don't know, gore and stuff, I've kind of grown out of. I used to love it as a teenager, but not so much anymore. I just don't like, the snot and blood and guts type, stuff anymore. But yeah, we did watch Alien Earth last night. Pretty fun, and it was just the right amount of creepy, scary to like unnerve me a little bit. If you've watched it, you'll know what I mean. But if you haven't, well, maybe give it a shot, because it's definitely worth the watch. I like what's the guy's name that played in Justified? Timothy Olyphant. Timothy Olyphant is such a good actor. It seems like that voice. He has the same like voice and demeanor no matter who he plays. He can play Riley, whatever his name was, in Justified, or he played also in The Mandalorian, and something else. Justified, The Mandalorian. I've seen him in a few things, but in this he plays Kirsch, which is like what are they called? Synthetic. And yeah, he was also in one of my favorite movies, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is one of my favorite movies. I have a list of like all-time favorites. I mean, I was just talking about this the other night with one of my friends. The top movies that I think probably are like my top 5. Star Wars is one, of course, the original, and then there's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There is Good Will Hunting, I like, and An American Werewolf in London. It depends on the genre. If it's horror, it's An American Werewolf in London. If it's comedy, what would be my favorite comedy? I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. But name some of your favorite movies. What do you guys enjoy watching? Like, what's your go-to if you just want to sit down and watch a movie? What's your go-to to watch? I mean, I'm not a big movie person. Although we do go to the movies, a lot. But I'm just, it depends. I mean, I'm not huge into movies or Um, there are only a few select that I like. The rest are just kind of garbage. So, I don't want to see, the Fast and the Furious 105, or I don't want to see, I don't want to see movies that they just keep churning out just to make money and they have no substance. The Jurassic Parks, I'm so sick of seeing those, and it's like, oh, here's another dinosaur movie. Oh, yeah, here's another dinosaur chasing these people. Hand us your money. Hand us, here's another car race in Fast and the Furious. Here you go. Yeah, it seems pointless. I like movies that have like that are made because they tell a good story, and to watch like the Fast and the Furious, 25 doesn't really make sense to me. If I've seen the first one, I've seen them all, for the most part. Star Wars and movies like that are the ones that kind of make sense. The Empire Strikes Back was probably the best, in my opinion, the best Star Wars movie, and it was a sequel, of course. But it just had that right feel to it. I'm sure many will disagree, and I'm sure many will agree that The Empire Strikes Back was the best Star Wars movie that there is. So, aside from that, we didn't do much this weekend or last night. Actually, we've already talked about the weekend, haven't we? But we sat down and just, did we're getting prepared for the holidays and everything else, and we're already almost halfway through September. Almost halfway through September. What is going on? Speaking of that, you only have a few days left for the Memory Mania event in Dreamlight Valley. That is going to be over soon. It is going to be ending very soon. So please, you don't have much time left to get it done. If you're planning on finishing the Memory Mania in Dreamlight Valley, you don't have a lot of time. Let's go up to the hello to Roxy and Tiberius and Coco. And Coco over here. We always have to honor them, remember them while we're down here in this cute little spot. Always sunny here. And we're gonna go up and head to Scrooge's store and try to make the video. I say it every video. This is gonna be a quick, and it ends up being exactly the same. I say, oh, this is gonna be a fast video, and it ends up being exactly around half an hour. So I guess it's gonna be a half-hour video. I guess it's just because we have like the timing down so well now. After a couple years of doing Dreamlight Valley here on Greymane Gaming, we just have it down. Oh, we finished this one. All right, we finished a puzzle. Awesome. I like it when that happens. All right, let's check out Scrooge's store, and then we'll do. I think we have a few comments. Do we have these chairs? Have them. We have this old TV. Of course, this junk I don't have. I feel like I'm buying the same thing over and over again. Chair, we don't have the chair. All right. I'm just buying them so I don't have to like look at them again. You know what I mean? 3,000 for this dress. That's a lot of cannolis. Let's go up this way. We own it. Hello, Peter. Peter Pan. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay, we got all this stuff. Got that table. Okay, so far nothing. We've got the bed. We've got, I don't know, we've got all these lamps. Or these whatever you want to call them. Alright, we've got everything it looks like. Wow. Not a very good day for shopping. Not a good day for shopping. No thanks. And out we go. Okay, so that is it for Scrooge's shop today. Very underwhelming. For me anyway. Maybe not for you all, but... Alright, let's check out the premium shop and then get straight to the comments and then the animals, okay? We have got, for the shop today, we have got the luminous butterfly gazebo. $1,500. Not bad. We've got the Maple Key Wings. Those are kind of cool. Those are pretty decent for $1,750. Those wings cost more than an entire gazebo. Down here we've got the Sandy Landmark set. Very nice. Sandy Dream Castle and the Sandy Skull Rock, and looks like some kind of boat in there. Black sequin dress for $1,200. If you want to do the ballroom kind of thing, go out dancing with your partner or with yourself if you want to. We've got the Rapunzel costume dress for $1,750. Corona Castle is $3,750. We've got the Goofy Tangled Stall. That's kind of cute for $1,200. We got La Bouffe Castle Bundle, $3,750. Kristoff Coronation Outfit. Belle's Royal Tools for $3,750. Alright, and 20% off the Corona Fountain and 20% off the Royal Jacket set. That is everything for the premium shop for this week. Pick something up if you like it. You have a week. So, limited time on a lot of things today. We have the Memory Mania. It's got 6 days left, and of course that's short. And we've got the premium shop that will also end in a week. So move your feet, as they say. All right, let's check out some comments here really quickly. We've got a comment from Ian Gator, says LMAO. Yeah, you do say that every video. You must be talking about it's going to be a short one. Yeah, I do say it every video, Ian also says, I'm sure Coco would absolutely adore that spot. Thanks, man. Oh, you're welcome. Anything to honor a wonderful life. We have to remember. You know what they say? It's like, what's that saying from Willy Wonka? So shines a good deed in a weary world, and I believe that. I mean, if there's any statement, any saying that is more poignant right now, at this time and place, with everything going on in the world, that is probably one I would say. So shines a good deed in a weary world. So please follow that. I mean, I try to do, I'm not trying to be like a Boy Scout, but, I figure that people need help, animals need help, everyone needs a hand. And if I can be one of those hands at some point and help somebody, then they'll pass it on. They'll pay, or what do they say? They'll pay it forward to someone else. Do that, right? If someone has helped you, if helped in any way, if they've helped you, please, make sure you pass it on. Help someone else. Help an animal. Animals are helpless without humans. It's just like Allie. In fact, it was kind of funny. Allie was at work last night, and she calls me, and there's a person. She ended up stopping at the grocery store after work, and there's a person that has left their huge, like 100-pound pit bull tied to their truck outside in front of the store, and people are walking by, and the dog is like lunging at them. And actually, she showed me as we were like on FaceTime. She goes, "What am I supposed to do?" She goes, "This dog, every time someone walks by, it lunges, and it's such a big dog, it actually rocks the truck." And I'm watching it because people are walking by, the dog's barking, and it's lunging. I don't know if it's excited. It didn't look like it was gonna, like a bite anyone. It just looked like it was trying to get some attention. And people were there reporting it, and of course Allie called the police as well. People next to her came up and were like, "Yeah, we've already called the police, and that dog's been out there for almost for the better part of an hour already." Just the owner just like tied it to their truck and went in. We didn't know if it was abandoned or what, so I stayed on the phone with her for a few minutes, and then I guess that it caused such a commotion at the grocery. Now we're talking at like 11:30 at night. I guess it caused such a commotion inside the store that the woman, finally came out, got her dog, and brought it inside the store. And people were just mad at her. I mean, one person yelled at her because she tied her dog outside and left it there. I mean, easily it could have been stolen. I understand that you don't want to leave your dog in their car, and maybe the dog has like chewing tendencies when it's alone. A lot of dogs get separation anxiety and will chew up things. If you ever had a dog that when you left it at home, you came home and like your couch cushion was chewed up or whatever, that's because they're anxious. That's like separation anxiety. So I can understand if the woman's dog was chewing up her car or whatever, but maybe you should go home first and then go to the store, and not leave your dog outside for an hour, because that's how pit bulls get stolen. And as you know, pit bulls that are stolen do not end up in the best circumstances with people who take them. They end up in dogfighting rings and everything else as bait dogs. So please, use some common sense. I don't think the lady's watching, Dreamlight Valley videos or, watching anything on my channel, but use some common sense, lady, because what you did was stupid to leave your dog out for an hour. But Allie was mad. She called the cops. Cops said, "There's nothing we can do. It's not being harmed. It's not being hurt. It's just outside, tied, in a parking lot to a truck." I'm like, well, you're gonna change your tune if someone walks by and that dog grabs a hold of their leg or something, then they're gonna change your tune. But they'd rather wait till something happens before doing something. But I guess the woman took like a lot of flack. I mean, people were probably going in the store and telling the manager or whoever was on duty at the time, and perhaps they put it on the loudspeaker. I don't know how, but she ended up coming out and getting the dog. And yeah, listen, if you can't take care of your pet, maybe you shouldn't have a pet. That was very reckless and a good way to have your animal stolen, and then that creates problems for the pet, and it hurts you. But imagine the circumstance that pet would be in. Don't be stupid, seriously. That's just what I say. We've got what do we have here? The Thaj Babadula. I think Thaj Babdula. I hope I pronounced that right. Says, "Thank you so much for the Dreamlight Valley garlic chocolate tart." Well, you're welcome. I'm glad you, hope you enjoyed it. Chocolate and garlic just don't sound like they mix well. So, Brenda McBride says, "Hi, Gray and all." Hello, Brenda. Pink Rose says, "Good afternoon, Gray." Hello, Pink Rose. Gray, I wish I could adopt one of the puppies. I just don't understand how people put puppies in shelters. I hope all the pups find a forever home. Have a magical day. Yeah, it ends up because people end up breeding dogs and then of course a lot of the litters are not prepared for. They're not welcome. So people get overwhelmed with puppies, and of course the easiest way is to dispose of them through the shelter. So that's why they bring them to shelter instead of being responsible pet owners. They would rather let their dogs breed uncontrollably, and then that creates all new problems. That's why you need to get your pets spayed and neutered if you're not planning on keeping the puppies. I mean, the first thing we did, Allie and I in the last 2 years have got 3 dogs. You know, we had Roxy, we had Tiberius. Roxy was spayed, Tiberius was neutered. Then they passed away, unfortunately. One of my, yeah. Then we got Django, and then we got Yara at the end of 2023. So they're about to turn 2 years old, and we got Oz this past February, and all 3 of them have been spayed and neutered. Oz just had his neutering in June, and he's right here, and he's like, "Please don't remind me. Don't talk about that." But he's such a good boy. He's a very good boy. But yeah, so you know, responsibly. If you're not gonna have puppies to keep, if you're not gonna have, if you know that you're not gonna, handle puppies, if you're not gonna be able to take on and raise puppies, then your responsibility as a pet owner is to get your animals spayed and neutered, because if not, it creates problems for pet populations. And of course, overcrowding in shelters, which is terrible, and it's not good for the animals. And speaking of that, we're going to go straight to the X page. We thank you all for the comments. We're going to go to the X page, and we've got today, Morgan Fairchild has reposted Labubu, NYCACC, she or he. What is this? Is this a male or a female? Labubu is at, let me see what branch or what borough. Labubu is a male 9-year-old and is at Queens. He is ID number 232170. So he has not been acclimating well to the shelter environment. Yeah, well, what do you expect? It's a loud, disgusting place. No one in their right mind would be happy to be there. So don't blame the dog. It's the environment. But he's at Queens. He needs out. They will destroy him soon. He needs a home, please. Remember, so shines a good deed in a weary world. That's what I'm saying, right? A good deed. If you're not out there performing, at least one good deed every now and again, please start doing so. I mean, we got Rhonda at NYCACC. She is ID number 235412. Rhonda is at, where you at, girl? Rhonda, pet not found. That's never a good thing when it comes to NYCACC scumbags. We got Tesla at NYCACC. Tesla, it does not say where, which one she's at. Where's she at here? Why? The website, they put her information in a video, so I've got to look at it. She's at Queens, number 229333, 2 years old. Her name is Tesla. Beautiful, and it looks like she might have puppies. She got puppies? It doesn't say. I thought she might have puppies, but I guess not. Her name is Tesla. She's beautiful. 2 years old for Tesla, and she's ready to go. So I'm going to repost. All right, remember to repost. You'll win $50, 50 whole dollars, if you're chosen. I choose one person every month for $50 if you're reposting my X page. We've got, who we got here for Morgan Fairchild? Pledges is Bowser, $160. We've got Georgie for $170. Rhonda is $225. Rocco $270. Tiger Tails is $450. And Boss is $520. That is the pledges for the dog. So if you, what a pledge is if you adopt a dog, they give you this money that has been pledged for their welfare, for things like food, shots. Usually when they're in the shelter, they get their shots, they get vetting. So that is, we're gonna do one more here. We've got Pulaski is number 235997, 4 years old, and she is at NYCACC. And where are you at, my girl? She's at Manhattan. 235997. All right, everyone, that is going to do it for the video today. Thank you all for watching. We're going to be back here on Monday for another Dreamlight Valley. And we're going to be starting Borderlands this coming week. Probably, I think, tomorrow or the next day. I think it's going to be on Friday. We're going to be starting Borderlands 4. We're going to have some fun. There might be some swearing in it. There might be some adult talk. So please, you know, keep that in mind when we're playing Borderlands 4. There might be a contest that's going to be going on. I'm looking at eyeing a contest coming up for that. So you want to watch, because if you want to win some money for Christmas, we're going to be probably playing a contest. I'm not going to tell you when. You just got to watch. And if you miss it, then you don't get it. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you want to, you're getting paid to watch a freaking video. So come on. You know, it's not that hard. I mean, I've worked harder for less. You know what I mean? I've worked harder for less. So please make sure you're watching the Borderlands 4. And I'm not going to tell you how much the cost. It's not going to. Listen, you'll have, yeah, with all everything going on now, with all the expensive products because of tariffs, you know, a little money can go a long way right now. A little extra money, I should say. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you get out there and volunteer at your local animal shelter. So shines a good deed in a weary world. Nothing is, no statement is truer. No statement is truer than that. Please make sure you have a magical day. Be the best human being that you can be today. Don't be as good as you're going to be tomorrow, but be better than you were yesterday. I'm going to see you in a future video. Thank you so much, and I will see you all then. Have a great, great Wednesday.